Audible.com is offering a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook download by going to audibletrial.com/SOSradio. That's audibletrial.com/SOSradio. No dash, listeners.
I'll send an SOS to the world. The blood of the Messiah flows.
How's everybody doing tonight? Yes, that was it. Yep. Mm-hmm. That was quite fun. That one was a quite fun podcast. I don't think anybody does.
Hello. I gotta be like Joe. Hello. Right. Right, right. History. Yes. How did I get you into this? Well, I guess you were kind of raised with it. I don't know. Right. It just happened. Yeah, right. When I was younger, let's say. Not when I was little. Probably, well, the first thing I can remember maybe is younger teens, maybe. Well, like when I would go to funerals, things would be kind of weird, and I would see like little things floating around, like black things. Well, I take that back because when I was littler, when I was younger, Grandma and your great-grandparents would take me to funerals and stuff with them that we had to go to, and I wouldn't go in. And I would sit in the car and pout, and they would be like, no, just the feeling that I had. And my grandma and grandpa would be like, no, you got to get in here. And I'd be like, no, I'm not coming. I'm not going in. And I would just sit in the car and pout. But it was just a bad feeling that I had. And then when I did go in, I would see like little shadows and things like over on Chicago Avenue, that place on Chicago Avenue. Musica. Yeah, Musica. Yeah. That's where I was raised, and then Humboldt Park. So, I mean, all the funerals there were from Musica in the day, you know. And yeah, even if we'd go to out-of-state ones, I'd be like, no, I'm not going in. I would get like really, really sick. No, kind of just around the room, actually. Not like over the casket or anything like that, but just around the room. You know, I would see something, and I had cousins, younger cousins in those days, and they'd be like running around, and I'd be like, how could you do that? You know, that thing is there, you know. Yeah, and it was kind of weird. Well, leftovers. I mean, I'm sure some type of leftover from other funerals or maybe ours, you know. But yeah, the younger guys, my cousins, would be running around and stuff, and be like, how could you be doing that stuff? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No, No, they were the same. Maybe 11. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, then it was the Ouija board kind of thing, you know. Yeah, I did. That's why I don't do it now. Right. I know. I was there. Yep. Yep. And what did the thing tell you? It went to the S. When they said, why wouldn't... Uh-huh. Right. I was pretty proud of myself. Yeah. Yeah. And that was in grammar school. No, with your my good friends at the time. Well, Josephine, your godmother, Joe, and I don't know if I'm not sure if Twigger was there or not, but usually it was me and Joe, and yeah, it was a store bought Ouija board, and that was at the house on Potomac, and so we used to do that. I mean, you know, all kids do, but that's why I won't do it now because you know it would give us like crazy answers, and then the planchette went flying across the room, and we were like, okay, no, yeah, we were like, okay, gotta go. You know, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember, but I don't think it was anything good. What was that? Well, we would ask it questions and stuff, and then it was talking like about death and things, you know, so we were like, okay. And then we asked it something, and the planchette went flying across the room. Well, we put it away and went outside and played. You know, I don't know. I'm not sure what Grandma and Grandpa did with it. I don't know. Because, you know, I mean, we had it there, and then it was gone. I don't think I threw it out, so Grandma and Grandpa probably threw it out. Or whatever they did with it. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah. No, not our bodies, but I did feel like things changing in the room, like it wasn't good. Whatever we had was not good. Yeah. So that was the last time, and that's why I wanted to be there when you guys did it. Yeah, that was grammar school. And then it kind of went dormant until Pittsburg. Yeah. The awesome house. The awesome house on Pittsburg. Everybody loved our house on Pittsburg. It was. Yep. Right. And the other visitors made sure that everybody was comfortable. Uh-huh. Well, in the house, maybe younger teens, I would think. No, younger than that, because we had the St. Teresa thing. And you were young. You were maybe 5, 6, somewhere around there. No, it was when the whole house smelled like roses. Yeah, Grandma was sick, and I was doing a novena to St. Teresa. Yeah, I love St. Teresa, yeah. So I'm like spiritual, and I wouldn't say religious, but I would say spiritual. So I was doing a novena, and if she hears you, she'll send you a rose or the smell of roses or something like that, something to do with roses. And we were at home. Chris was living with us at the time. And room by room, we started smelling roses. So we were like, Jay, what did you do? You're like, I didn't do anything. I did nothing. And Jay, what'd you do? Did you spill something? And you're like, no, I didn't spill anything. I'm like, Chris, this place is smelling. She goes, I said, what is that smell? She said, I think it's roses. I'm like, oh my goodness. And as soon as it went room by room by room until the whole house reeked of roses. And then the way it came was the way it went. Room by room by room, it was gone. Uh-huh. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really strong. It was very strong. We thought you spilled something, that you were into our perfume or something. Yeah, because you were younger. Yeah. So we thought that you spilled perfume or something, and we're like looking all over. And you were like, I didn't do anything. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Everything was good. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because I've got a few of those. And then the one time with her, I was doing another one, and you came up at Auntie Karen's wedding, and you gave me a rose. That was another one. Uh-huh. And then one day, I've still got it to this day. It was like early 80s, I think, and I still have it to this day. It's on my dresser. Excuse me. I was a waitress at the time, and the guy came in, and he was having coffee. He was a very strange kind of guy. Quiet, having coffee, and he was doodling the whole time he was there. And when he left, he shook my hand, and he said, thank you. And he left on the napkin. Do you remember that? It was roses. I've got it. I came across it. It was in my stuff that I had packed away. And it had roses coming down. It had a cross on it. And then it said, peace, sexy lady, across the banner. He had like a banner going through it. And it looked exactly what St. Teresa holds. It was roses coming down and then the cross on it. Yeah. So that happened like 3 times. Mm-hmm. Right. And that was the weirdest. Because he was just sitting there doodling and stuff and shook my hand when he left. And right. And then there was, money on the table and this note that he left. It was very cool. And I've got it in plastic, and I ran across it, and I've got it on my dresser still. And that was from early 80s, maybe. Yeah, it was cool. So that's when you were younger. Yeah, things were happening at that time because we had a lot of your friends were saying that was when you were older, though. They were seeing the guy with the fedora. Uh-huh. Right. And I've seen him. You saw him. And then he said that he saw him. I'm thinking, right. And I'm thinking when I was young, we used to live on Chicago Avenue back in the old days, And my uncles, they were like, well, all of them were like fedora wearing, long coat wearing kind of guys, Right. And them and their friends used to take me for ice cream. Real nice bunch of guys. But my Uncle John. Oh, that was his friend. Yeah. Joe. Yeah. Yeah. And a few others, yeah. Right. And they all had the fedoras on and stuff, and that's exactly what we would see in the house. So I'm thinking it was probably, like one of the uncles, like probably Uncle John type guy, as far as I can see. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. They used to hang around by your bedroom there in the hallway, by your bedroom door. Uh huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Into the bedroom. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Yep. That was when you were probably, yeah, in your younger teens. Yeah. Because you guys have known each other forever. But yeah, that was your younger teens. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, they would, that was there too. That was in that same area. Right. In that same area. Right. Yep. And we'd see the flash of light or a ball flying around or most, I saw the flash of light, like a quick flash of light. But that was in that same area. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Right, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it always hung around right there in the hallway. No, uh-uh. Gee, I don't know. 1974. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-mm. No, I don't know. The guy that I bought it from, I don't know how long he owned it. He owned it for a while because he raised some of his kids there too. Maybe. Yeah, could be. Right. Now you know why you are the way you are. Uh, right. Yep. Uh-huh. And then it caught on fire. Yeah. Then it caught on fire. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. And the mail dropped in the hallway. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh wow. Wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. The coffee table. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Things used to do that or turn. They would move around and turn. Ah. Well, It was there. I mean, it is what it is. Well, first, when I was working, I ran across a lot of interesting people, like waitressing, being a server. And first, yes. Okay. Right. And one guy used to come in and he used to sit at the counter, and another one, he used to mind his own business and just watch what was going on. And he stopped me one time and he said, "What's wrong with your knee?" And I'm like, "Oh, it hurts sometimes." And he goes, "Yeah." He said, "You got something with your knee." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I do." And then I left and I came back and he asked me another question, and he was right. And he said, "Let me talk to you." He goes, you have a son?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "He sees things." Yeah. And I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, but he doesn't say anything. He doesn't tell you or anything, but he does see things." And I said, "Like what?" And he goes, "Well, he sees things that, like, he's got the gift. He's got a gift and he can see things that are happening." I said, "Oh, really?" He goes, "And then, did somebody just pass away?" And I said, "Yeah." "Right. Yeah." And he said, "But you didn't go to the funeral. You went to the wake, but you didn't go to the funeral." I said, "Right. Because we're separated at the time." So I went to the wake, but I didn't go to the funeral. And he said, he knows. He knows why you weren't there. He goes, and he says, "That's okay. And he's watching over your son." And I said, "Really?" I go, "Who is this?" And he goes, "He looks like this." And he changed his whole face. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's my soon-to-be ex-father-in-law." His whole face changed. He made it skinny. He like puckered it in, kind of, and his whole face changed. And he looked just like him. Yep. Well, he was sitting at the counter. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He goes, "He's a little guy, right?" I said, "Yeah." And he kind of looks like this. And he sucked his cheeks in and like, oof. Yeah, I knew who it was right away. Well, I said, "I know who that is." I go, "Okay, I know." He goes, "Well, don't worry. He knows why you weren't there." And I'm like, "Well, thank you." He goes, "But watch your son." I said, "Okay." According to him, you did. Well, you had the macaroni lady. Right. Well, or was it? Or was it? How did you know your way to Dad's house? Down to Bridgeport, and told me which way to go. And you make a right, and then you make a left. I'm like, okay. And you were right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe. He said, "But you saw things, but you didn't say anything." But he doesn't tell you, he goes. "So I don't know what you saw." He goes, "But watch him." Yeah, I did. And then you came up with the macaroni lady. So I figured, well, maybe macaroni lady is what he's talking about. Maybe she's not imaginary at all. I don't know. Right. Right. Uh-huh. Right. Well, then a little while later, I was tying my shoes in the front room. And this was, you were young. And I was bent over and I was tying my shoes in the front room, and I would put my my shoe up on the coffee table to tie it. We always used that coffee table to tie our shoe. A big wooden one. We didn't break anything. But and I had my foot up on the coffee table, and I saw these feet standing behind me, and they were like little feet, little man's feet. And your grandfather was a little person. He wasn't very big, little Italian guy. And it kind of looked like his feet. like the size of his feet, and I got that feeling, and I turned around and there was nobody there. With that one once. Yeah, the feet were once. I'm here, yeah, watching over Jay, because that guy told me that he would be watching over you. Yeah. Then when I told your aunt, she was all mad because why is he hanging around our house? Right. Why is my dad hanging by you? I said, well, because I got his grandson. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She was pretty upset. Why is he hanging around by you? I said, well, think about it. I've got his only grandson. He lives here. You guys are grown, and he's his guardian angel for a while. I don't know. But yeah, she got all upset. It was pretty funny. Right. If that's not enough. All right. Yeah. Yeah, that was a big one. Oh, 800 square feet. Yeah, it was about 820 square feet. We only had the one floor, and there was a crawl space downstairs. Mm-hmm. Crawl space. Mm-hmm. And I think it was like 820 feet. Right. Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody loved it. Our little crooked house. with activity. Yep. Me and Chris would have parties, and we'd throw water on the floor just to watch people slide. And they would slide from one end to the other because it was sloped. Joe brought his son over. Joe brought Joey. Not Zombie Joe. Joe Erie, yeah. But the other Joe, and he brought his son, and he couldn't make it up the kitchen floor. Yeah. And he couldn't make it up the floor because it was slanted. He was just starting to walk. He couldn't make it up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And my dad used to go. My dad used to show up. Mm-hmm. He used to invite the neighbors over. Had porta potties in the back so nobody would go in the house. Hmm. Oh, Smokey. Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, he used to go. And then he used to come back. And yeah, he'd come in our yard. Yep. And then he finally... No, it was never abandoned. They were always there. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, when they moved? Yeah. Yeah. Yay. So we had the St. Teresa statue that was moving around. Okay. And the thing over there, yeah. Right. No. No. No, they were, yeah. There was never anything bad there. Yeah. Nothing that would have hurt us. Yeah, no, it was all good stuff. No. Uh-uh. There was, I mean, you could tell the difference, because I could feel either it's a good or it's bad, and that was all good stuff. There was nothing bad or anything that would have hurt us or anything like that. I would have done something if it was. Well, I would have probably saged the place or something, cleansed it, or yeah, the old hippie that I am. Yeah. Or call Steve, yeah, yeah. Well, I had a dream one time that the whole backyard was spinning. And usually in my dreams, I can usually figure out what it means or if something's going to happen. Or, Grandma gave me lottery numbers after she had passed away and in Vegas. Yeah, yeah. I would split them in Vegas and I would have I'd play 3 and 4 and the guy would come and he'd be, boy, you did it again. And I'm like, yep, I did. Right. But they were random numbers that she gave me. But then I found when I wrote them all down, because I got up, I wrote them down. Because anytime I had a dream like that, I knew it meant something. So I got up and I wrote them down. And I said, okay, so I got this and this and this. It's your birthday, Uncle Bob's birthday, my birthday. But I couldn't figure out the last number was 38. So I went by Grandpa and I said, I got these numbers. Ma gave me these numbers. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, Ma gave me these numbers last night. I said, and I could find significance for all of these numbers, but this last 38. He goes, oh, we were married 38 years. So, it was her. But we get a lot of that in our family. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Okay. I do. How about Stevie Nicks? Kind of woman.
No.
Yes. Right.
Why you ask? You have another waiting at home, and yes, she matters to you. Kind of woman that'll hold you. She matters to you. Kind of woman that'll hold you. She matters to you. You didn't mean to meet her, you cried. Oh, but the sun goes down every night.
Thank you. Right. The witch. Yes. She's a white witch. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, yeah. I mean, they were too. You were younger. I didn't want you all freaked out. Yeah. Hmm. Right. Yep. Hmm. Her family made it. Yeah, from Korea. Yeah. Yeah. I know when we moved, nobody wanted that doll. No. Couple feet. Yeah. It was big. Yeah, it was big. Hmm. Right. No. There was dust up there. Yeah. Right. Exactly. I would dust her off though. Yeah. With the dust thing. With the thing. Yeah. No, no. Hmm. Yeah. Well, I like to see the glow that the dust made when the sun came in. Well, I had a friend and he was cleaning out his condo. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I think so. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So he was cleaning out his condo, and his grandmother had just passed away. And this was like a guy that had this dark shadow over him all the time. And I mean, like evil, evil. Um, well, I did. Well, he just kind of attached himself to me and Chris. He was just, we got him out of trouble, and then we let him stay with us, and then he wouldn't leave, and he was just evil. Yeah. No, we bailed him out of jail. That's what we did. We bailed him out of jail, and then we said, okay, you could stay with us because he was cleaning out that condo, and then he just caused havoc. Yeah, no, it was on Belmont. Hmm. Belmont and the N streets. One of the N streets. Maybe Natchez. Hmm. Right on the corner. Yeah, yeah, it was on Belmont. Yeah. Oh, you were young then too. It was probably you were in school already because I had kept you home from school that day. Yeah, so maybe second grade, something like that. Third grade, somewhere around there. So so he was cleaning out the condo. He gave me this statue, and it's supposed to be. I mean, it was the child Prague. I think so. Yeah, it's supposed to protect your house. You have to face it toward the door or whatever, and yeah, it's supposed to protect your house. So I put him up there by St. Teresa, up on the case by St. Teresa. And I got up the next morning, and she turned. Bless you. And she turned facing the window. Yeah, pretty much. Turned totally around and faced the window. Like she didn't like him. She didn't want him there. But it was really weird. Oh, it happened a couple times. And me and Chris even we traced her bottom because she had a square. She's got a square base on her. I've got her here. I've still got it. And it was like a square bottom. And when she turned, not a square, it was a circle from her turning. So nothing jiggled it or anything like that. It was all very scientific. We traced the bottom with ink and to see how she turned, and it wasn't anything jiggling or anything like that. It formed a total circle. Yeah. It was a total circle. Yeah. Where she turned. Yeah. Instead of a square, when it just circled around. We tried jiggling, we tried jumping. Right. We weren't on a busy street or anything like that. We were on a side street. So we figured we didn't know how she turned. Right. Right. And she turned to the left, looked out the window, and turned her back on him. She didn't like him up there. Oh, like 3 times. And then I got rid of him for some... Yeah, I'm like, no, he's got to go. Yeah. No. No, she was fine. Right. Right. Well, you were really sick that day, so I kept you home from school. And we went over there, and we were helping him clean. I was helping him clean. You were pretty sick. And we were in the front room. You and I were in the front room. And we heard this, like, jingling in one of the rooms, in one of the bedrooms. And I kind of, well, what was that? And then I heard it again. And I said, okay, let me go check this thing out. And when I walked into the room, I saw this black, nasty shadow going across the wall in the back. And the wall was white, so this thing like really stuck out. And it was like a body, a leg, and part of a foot that was just passing by on the wall. And that was not good. Well, there were canes. There were a couple canes in the in the closet. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know what it was. It could have been. I don't know. From this thing, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because you were sick. You had a really high fever. Yeah, well, as the day went on, you got worse, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I think you just progressed. But yeah, you did get worse. But yeah, there was something really evil there. We packed up and went home. Right. I think he went for sandwiches or something. I think he went to get something to eat or something. It was me. Yeah, just us. Yeah, we left. No. Uh-uh. No, it was bad. I have no idea. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, it was big, black, and almost like a body, a leg, and part of a foot. I think I did. No, that I don't remember. And it was, no. Uh, it was just something very evil. Yeah, it was evil. Well, I did. No. I had him arrested too. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I did not like it. Yeah, no. No, she was fine after that. Okay. Cozy little house. Old. It was old, but it was home. No, I don't think so. I think everything that happened in there, except for Sal hightailing it out of there that day. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Right. Uh-huh. He was out of there. Yeah. Right. Uh-huh. And left. Yeah. Right. Oh, wow. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, in fact, the one time, because you were young then too, and your dad told my mom, do you know what she did last night? She was in the cemetery at 3 o'clock in the morning. Bachelor's Grove. Yeah. And my mom, she knew because she had it too. And, but she's like, well, that's my daughter, you know. I don't think so. Mm-mm. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I would think. Where was I going with that? Oh, well, yeah, we used to go down to Bachelor's Grove. Little bit when I was younger, and then I stopped. It stopped. I would say it stopped in between, I don't know, in my teens, maybe probably until Pittsburg, and things started happening again and things like that. Except for the Ouija board deal and stuff. But other than that, it kind of laid back. And then when I moved into Pittsburgh, that's when it started again. But yeah, and probably after it was just us, or me, you, and Chris. For the three of us were there. But then I started going back down to Bachelor's Grove again and doing our little research, putting our cameras in there and putting our tape recorders back in the big grave in the back. Fulton, yeah. Because even in those days, it was, this was like early 80s, I think. Even in those days, it was, said that that's where the witches have their masses and things like that, and there's candle wax on the thing, on the headstone and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we went in with cameras and recorders, and yeah, well, we got a couple voices on the recorder. We had it set on that Fulton grave in the back, and we let it run. We let our stuff run, and then we would go to the, what was it, the El Dorado, yeah, the El Dorado restaurants, and we'd go have coffee. Yeah. Yeah, and we'd go have coffee and stuff, and then we'd go back in and get our stuff, We'd hang around for a while and get our stuff. And we were listening to the recorder on the way home, and we did catch, like, two voices. Nothing that we can make out, though. One was like a higher, like a garble, and then one was a lower garble. Like they were talking to each other or something. Yeah, it was like a higher one and a lower one. We did get a photo. Actually, well, it's not mine. It was a friend of mine's. And there were three faces in the photo. There was an old man, a younger kid, and then kind of maybe a girl in her 30s. It was his photo. And Actually, I took a crew back there years later, and I said, okay, here's, because not many people will go back there at night, you know, and they all thought we were nuts. But we went back out there, and I said, okay, here's where it was taken. There's an old man, there's a little kid, and somebody about 30 years old. You can tell she had longer hair. The kid was like right in front of the camera. And then the old man, he was kind of just floating back, you know, kind of like, I'm here, you know, that kind of thing. And we did find, you know, and the guys would be like, Sue, I think you should see this. And I was like, what's that? 86 years old. His name was Chauncey or something. Yeah. And then, Sue, I think you should see this. What do you got? Walter Merrick? He was like 10 years old. You know, I have, and I didn't come up with anything. I mean, I might even have the name wrong, but whatever it was 10 years, 10 months, and 10 days or something old, was what the headstone said. Right. And the girl, we're figuring it could be, there's Isabella Moss is buried there. So she is out there. Are gone. Right. Right. Yeah. Well, she was a senator's wife or something, I think is what the gravestone said at the time. I don't even know if those are there. I mean, we used to go in there and try to stand them back up. Yeah. We used to go in and try to stand them back up. I mean, a bunch of people from the CB would go. So we... Right, excuse me. But yeah, we would try to go and, you know, try to stand them back up. We got a couple of them, but by now they're probably gone. The house? Yeah, the house in the back. Yeah. Well, we spent quite a bit of time there. Well, you were either with Dad, you would go down by then on the weekends. So you were in Bridgeport. Yeah. So me and Chris used to go to Bachelor's Grove. Where was I going? Oh yeah. Nah, little. But yeah, we were walking in the back and we saw a light going back, and there was supposed to be a whole town back there at one time. Right. 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 And so we were walking back there, and I went around the side, and I was walking on that road in the back, toward the back of not by the lake, but like toward the left of the lake, kind of. Right. Yeah. Left. Yeah, you make a left by the lake, and there's a whole other little path that goes back there. It was back there. And I saw a light, and I was coming closer and closer to it. I'm like, well, that looks a little weird, that this thing should be sitting here, you know. And the light was on. There was a light on. And I'm looking, and I called for Chris and the rest of the ones that were with us. And then I went to call for them, and it was gone. And I knew it was there. I'm not crazy. Right. Yeah. And it had a light on, like somebody lived there. Like somebody was living there. Looked like a farmhouse, like a white farmhouse. Yeah, and that was way back. That was back. Right. Yeah, right. But it's the same. Yeah. Yeah. And we were going to talk to Richard Crow about that too. Remember? Yeah, we can't anymore. This is true. We cut the hole in the fence. Yeah, yeah. Right. Trying to explain what you saw, probably, curious on how this stuff got there and trying to explain what you saw. Yeah, I would say gift, probably. Mm, yeah. Or you get a feeling when something's going to happen or something's not right. Hmm. Right. Yeah. That one was kind of dangerous. I was going down, well, the Kennedy, going into Bridgeport, and I was going down the Kennedy, and it was day. It wasn't at night or anything. It was daytime, and I saw an accident happen in front of me. Like this car was moving over, the two cars crashed, and I was coming up on it. So I slammed on the brakes. After I slammed on the brakes and I looked, the two cars were gone. They weren't there. So I was like pretty shooken up. That was kind of scary. And about a couple exits down the road, that same accident happened at that time. So I passed it. I saw it in front of me, but it didn't happen in front of me. It happened like a couple exits down, more like maybe a mile down the road. Oh, I never thought of that. Totally possible of, yeah, being there. Because, it was only like maybe a mile, a couple exits up. So, yeah, if I would have kept going at the speed I was going on the expressway. Well, what, 55, 60? Yeah. That I saved, yeah. That's true. Never thought of that. Hmm. Yeah, never thought of that. But I saw it happen, and like I saw it happen probably around Fullerton or Armitage. And it actually happened like just north of downtown, kind of couple exits up. Hmm. Yeah, true. Hmm. Oh, the toaster. I could do this because they're both gone now. They'll get me later. I'll hear from them later. But we're going to a shower, and I was regifting. Yeah, I couldn't help it. I had too many toasters. so so I was regifting this toaster, and I had it wrapped and everything, and I was ready to go, and Grandma called me, and she said, "Can you do me a favor?" And I said, "What's that?" She said, "Open the box." I said, "But Ma, it's wrapped, it's ready to go and everything." And she's like, "No, open the box. I had a dream." I'm like, "Okay, Grandma had a dream. I'm going to open the box." And she goes, "I had a dream that the card was in there." Yeah, it was to me originally, and it said, "Love Auntie Joe." So I'm like, all right. She goes, "Humor me. Open the box." And if she was that adamant about it, I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So I opened the box, and sure enough, that card was in there. I know. I know. Yep. And I wasn't that close to this cousin. I was just going because it was the thing to do. And she would have said, "Who's Auntie Joe?" Can you imagine? But yeah, Grandma said, "No, just humor me. Open the box." I said, "All right." And I opened the box, and sure enough, the card was in there. Hmm. No. Well, she knew, yeah. But she didn't, she goes, "No, the card's in there and I could see it." She goes, she goes, "Who gave me the toaster?" She didn't know who gave me the toaster. I just said, that I was going to give him an extra toaster that I had, And she didn't know who gave me the toaster. She goes, "I saw the card. It said, 'Love Auntie Joe.'" I'm like, "All right, I'll open it." Hmm. Hmm. Oh, yeah, my mom, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, all the time. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, her too. I mean, she would say, "Oh, so and so came to visit me last night," or like before they would pass away, they would come and say bye, kind of thing. She would, yeah, she would know. Either they would come and say goodbye, or they would come later and say, "We're okay," kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. And she would go, "Oh, yeah, I saw so and so last night." I mean, in our family, it's just that's the way it is. I'm like, "Oh, okay, how were they?" You know, like my mom came to Chris, and said she was okay. Chris said, "Oh, you look fantastic," and hmm. Right, right, hmm, yeah, yeah, hmm, yeah. She started when she was what, 3 in Chris's yard that day. Yeah, quit kicking me. Hmm. Yeah, and me and Chris looked at each other and we're like, "Okay." Hmm. Yeah, yeah, right. Hmm. Yeah, runs in the family. Uh huh. Or like Chris's kids would say, "Oh yeah, this happened or that." "Oh well, okay." She just takes it like I do with a grain of salt. Yeah, all right. Hmm. Well, although we get times where we'll know something. Uh huh. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hmm. Yeah. And we did pretty good on there. Right. Right. Yeah, we did really good on those. Hmm. Right. Yeah. Or sometimes you're thinking about something and I'll show up with it. We've done that a lot too. I'll come over and, "Oh my gosh, I was just thinking about that." And I would stop on the way and pick something up and you'd be like, "I was just going to go get that." Yeah, you got something. Yeah, yeah. Uh huh. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. There was something else we were going to do. What was it? It was the St. Teresa, and there was something else. No dead air. Right. Guns. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-mm. Oh, gee. I bought it in 74 and sold it in 99. 2000. Sold it in 2000. Yeah, we were there a long time. No. No, and I was up there. I mean, I didn't spend time up there, but I've been up there and I'd never seen any, like, strange boxes or anything like that. But, uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So long. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get it out, yeah. Stuff in the yard, yeah. We had relatives that buried it behind the toilet, you know. The uncles on Chicago Avenue buried it behind the toilet. Right. It was, yeah. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah. You never know. It's, oh, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. To see if it was us or the land. Could have been us. I don't know. Because from the description of like what people saw would be like description of like my uncles and stuff, you know, on Chicago Avenue. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No. Probably because I didn't want to know. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I did everybody else's. I mean, I knew, you know, that you were where your stuff was at. You know, I knew you were a Gemini and I knew you were this and that and where your moon was at and things like that just to get basic personality. Well, you were a Gemini, but, well, on the cusp between Gemini and Taurus. And then your moon was in Mars. So, I mean, your second house, your first house was Mars. And it was like your temper. Like, you could have a pretty bad temper. Uh-huh. Yeah, so I kind of knew, you know, kind of how to deal with you a little bit. It helped there. Um, I don't even remember now. I remember you were Gemini, and then I don't remember what else. But yeah, I made it a point not to do it because, just because. Well, one, yeah, I did one chart and I told her something drastic is going to happen because of the way the planets were moving at the time. And, I believe you don't make any decisions when Mercury is retrograde. And, right, what did I tell you when you bought this house? Yes. And I said, don't do a contract. Right. You put it off. Right. Remember the real estate lady looking at you like you were crazy? He's like, no. He goes, I can't. I got to put off the contracts. I can't make any decisions right now. And I'm like, yeah, Mercury's retrograde. Don't do that. And she was like, it's okay. I don't like her anyway. But yeah. Well, a plane almost came into our work. Her. Husband. Uh-huh. No, it was a passenger plane that he had stole from Milwaukee. Yeah. He was going to dive it into the restaurant we were working at. Or she was a waitress there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The whole corner was evacuated because he was coming down. He was going to land the plane in the restaurant. Yeah. Yeah. Right. He's gone. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah. But yeah, that was interesting. And it was another retrograde planet was going forward, backward, forward, backward. Usually the third time is when it's going to hit something. And that's when it hit. Yeah. Yep. I Ching with the pennies and that was Auntie Karen. It was she would do I Ching. She put her pennies in a little handkerchief and put them in the book. Yeah, 3 pennies I think it was. And yeah. Until our cousin came over and he told me to burn it all. Oh, I got a lot of them. No, fine. Right, yeah. I was just raised that way. Yeah. I do too. Thank you. Thanks for having me. I love you too. And Chris is Jennifer Von Quiqui's mom. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then it goes there. Auntie Joe had it. Grandma had it. And from the way I could see Auntie Joe's mom, she had those eyes. She had the real deep blue eyes. Yeah. No. But yeah, it's... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I do too. Tell you just missed her by a couple of weeks. Yep. Just keep doing what you're doing, guys. You're doing good. Keep the tradition. Yep. Yeah, right. Exactly. And we'll be kicked back. Right. And we'll be all kicked back with a beer or something. Watching them. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, everyone, for listening to the SOS-Radio podcast. Search SOS-Radio podcast on iTunes and give us a rating. Download our free mobile app by searching Supernatural Occurrence Studies on Google Play, Apple App Store, and Amazon App Store. Visit us online for ghostly photos that coincide with our podcasts, videos, and other exclusive content at sos-radio.com, chicagosos.com, and supernaturaloccurrencestudies.com. Follow us on Facebook at sos-radio.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chicago Ghosts. Subscribe to the Chicago's own Supernatural Occurrence Studies YouTube channel for exclusive video content. Follow Jason Nhyte on Google+. That's Nhyte, Nhyte. Email us at submissions@sos-radio.com and call or text anytime at 872-529-0SOS. That's Chicago's area code, 872-529-0767.
And as always, kind listeners, keep your head up, eyes open, and question everything.
Want to save your soul from hell, riding on our range. Cowboy, change your ways today. Oh. With us you will ride. Ride at the devil's herd.